Journalist Johann Hari embarked on a global journey to converse with leading experts worldwide about the origins of depression and anxiety. In this narrative, we'll delve into potential solutions to these pervasive issues. Hari was driven by two burning questions. Firstly, why have an increasing number of people in the Western world been grappling with depression and anxiety over the past 4 decades of his life? The second enigma was personal. As an adolescent, Hari visited a doctor and described feeling as though pain was pouring out of him. He felt ashamed and bewildered by what was happening. The doctor informed him that some individuals inherently have a chemical imbalance in their brains. Hari was prescribed medication which initially provided relief, but the pain resurfaced. The dosage was continually increased, and Hari took the pills for 13 years. Yet he endured debilitating anguish for almost the entire duration. To delve into this topic and pen a book on it, Hari embarked on a journey spanning approximately 40,000 miles. A crucial insight he gained is that current scientific understanding points to 9 main drivers of depression and anxiety. While 2 of these are biological, indicating that genetics can heighten vulnerability, they do not determine one's destiny. The majority of causes are non-biological, intertwined with our lifestyles. For example, individuals are more susceptible to depression if they seldom immerse themselves in nature, experience loneliness, or lack autonomy at work, merely following orders. We possess innate physical needs, such as food, water, shelter, and clean air. Additionally, we harbor core psychological needs: the need to perceive our lives as meaningful and purposeful, to feel a sense of belonging, to be valued by others, and to envision a future. These psychological needs are increasingly unfulfilled in contemporary society, potentially contributing to the widespread prevalence of depression and anxiety. Hari grappled with transitioning his perspective on depression from solely a brain chemistry issue to one influenced by various factors, including lifestyle. He conversed with a South African psychiatrist named Derek Summerfield, who recounted an anecdote from his work in Cambodia in 2001. The Cambodian people were introduced to chemical antidepressants for the first time, but they claimed to already possess their own antidepressants. Summerfield shared the story of a rice field farmer who had lost a leg to a landmine remnant from the war with the U.S. Although fitted with a prosthetic, standing in the water-filled fields was excruciatingly challenging. Moreover, working where he had been maimed was emotionally taxing. The farmer began displaying classic signs of depression, constant weeping and staying bedridden. At this juncture, the local community intervened. They sat with the farmer, listened to his plight, acknowledged that his anguish was logical given his circumstances, and then purchased a cow for him to become a dairy farmer instead, freeing him from toiling in the rice paddies. Within a month, his depression dissipated. It might seem like a strange outcome, seeking antidepressants and receiving a cow instead. Yet the actions of the Cambodian doctors align with the message leading physicians worldwide have been advocating for years. Individuals struggling with depression or anxiety are not weak, crazy, or malfunctioning machines. They are simply individuals with unmet needs. The doctors did not dismiss the patient's struggles or suggest they solve it independently. Instead, they offered support, stating, "We're here together to help you figure this out." This kind of support is what all individuals battling depression seek. Rather than solely focusing on chemical imbalances, we should prioritize restoring balance to our lifestyles. While medications can offer relief, addressing the root causes requires a deeper understanding beyond biology. Hari suggests concentrating on 2 primary drivers of depression and anxiety, along with their corresponding solutions. The first driver is loneliness. A recent survey revealed that 39% of Americans no longer have close relationships. Globally, loneliness ranks high, trailing closely behind the U.S. Our ancestors on the African savannas thrived not because they were more numerous or faster than their prey, but because they banded together and cooperated. The key strength of our species lies in our ability to unite. However, modern society has led us to be the first humans to forsake our tribes, which contributes to our current state of distress. Dr. Sam Wellington, a physician in London, shared with Hari the case of a patient named Elise, who had battled depression and anxiety for 7 years. Dr. Wellington's approach involved prescribing medication and requiring Elise to attend the medical center twice a week to meet others facing similar challenges. However, the objective was not merely to commiserate, but to identify meaningful activities they could engage in together. These East London residents opted for gardening. In addition to the inherent mood-boosting benefits of working with the earth, the patients found companionship. They formed a new community and began caring for one another. As Elise expressed, the garden started blooming, and we started blooming. Hari advocates for a shift away from urging individuals to be yourself, to encouraging them to be us, be part of the group. The remedy lies in belonging to something larger than oneself. The second driver of depression and anxiety is the prevalence of misguided values in our society. Philosophers have long posited that believing life's meaning stems from money, status, and material possessions leads to dissatisfaction. Professor Timothy Kearney, with 30 years of study in this area, discovered that the more one believes they can purchase their way out of sadness and discontent into a fulfilling life, the more likely they are to experience depression and anxiety. However, society often reinforces these misconceptions. From a young age, we are taught to seek happiness in the wrong places. The saying, "on their deathbed, no one wishes they'd bought more shoes and got more retweets," may be an overused cliché, but it contains a truth we all inherently understand. When facing death, people reflect on moments of love, meaning, and connection. However, our culture often steers us away from living in alignment with these values. We find ourselves ensnared in a system that encourages us to forget what truly matters in life. Why is it so challenging for us to grasp this concept? There are several reasons. One is the need to reframe our understanding of depression and anxiety. Viewing them solely as brain glitches implies that our suffering is insignificant. However, they are more than glitches. They are signals. Depression is trying to communicate something to us. Only by listening to and respecting these signals can we begin to uncover the deeper, more fulfilling solutions that await us. Hari suggests that these solutions involve reconnecting with our core values, our relationships, our sense of purpose, and aligning our values with our actions. Contrary to popular belief, the opposite of depression is not happiness, but vitality. Vitality emerges when we feel deeply connected, valued by others, and when our lives hold meaning beyond the pursuit of status and material possessions. The loneliness epidemic stands out as one of the most significant contributors to the current mental health crisis. Humans have evolved as profoundly social beings. Our ancestors didn't merely socialize, they collaborated and protected one another. However, modern life has severed these ancient bonds. As Hari points out, we're the first people in history to leave our tribes. It's no wonder that many of us feel adrift, disconnected, and isolated. One impactful solution highlighted by Hari is the social prescribing method, pioneered by clinicians like Dr. Sam Wellington. Instead of solely prescribing medication, these doctors connect patients with community groups, shared activities, and support networks. The aim is not just to commiserate, but to discover common ground and engage in meaningful activities together. Elise, a patient of Dr. Wellington, spoke to the profound effect. The garden started blooming, and we started blooming. By finding her community, she rediscovered a sense of belonging and purpose that medication alone could not provide. Addressing the second driver, our cultural fixation on false values related to status, wealth, and image, is more complex. These materialistic ideals are deeply ingrained in our society. As Hari observes, our whole lives were taught to seek happiness in the wrong places. Research by Edmondson University professor Timothy Kearney demonstrates that the more one believes they can buy their way out of unhappiness, the more likely they are to experience depression. The allure of consumerism is challenging to resist when it surrounds us constantly. Nevertheless, Hari sees signs of hope. He points to the increasing popularity of the deathbed wisdom, which suggests that those nearing the end of life value love, meaning, and connection over possessions and status. Even within our materialistic culture, there's a lingering sense that true fulfillment transcends the superficial desires we're encouraged to pursue. Embracing this deeper wisdom, according to Hari, is essential for discovering more sustainable solutions to the mental health crisis. Shifting our perspective on depression and anxiety to view them as signals to be respected rather than problems to be solved represents another pivotal change. When we dismiss them as mere brain glitches, we risk overlooking their significance and the valuable insights they offer. Depression and anxiety are not errors in our system. They are efforts by the mind to communicate unaddressed needs and imbalances in our lives. By listening to these messages with empathy and a willingness to understand, we may uncover pathways to genuine healing. Hari acknowledges that implementing these solutions is neither simple nor straightforward. Breaking away from the entrenched patterns of modern life and resisting the cultural currents that divert us from what truly nurtures us pose significant challenges. Nevertheless, he believes the stakes are high enough to warrant a radical reconsideration. The mental health crisis transcends individual struggles. It is a societal challenge with far-reaching impacts on our communities, families, and the fundamental structure of our society. To address this challenge, he argues, we must undergo nothing short of a renaissance in how we perceive and support our fundamental human needs.